Okay. I'm asked all the time, in what order should I answer the reading comprehension questions on the SAT? So let's take a look. What you always want to start with are questions like this, specifically the second question here, which says which choice provides the best evidence. And that's what we typically call these questions, the evidence questions. They ask for the evidence to answer the previous question. And what you see in the answer choices is always these line references. So what doing these questions forces us to do is go back to the passage and reread a whole bunch of this, which is obviously going to help us answer these two questions, but also all the questions we do later that have to do with these lines here. So these are great ones to start with. Almost every passage has two of these. So seek out these two. It may come as a pair like these two do. So maybe 4 questions, but find those and do those first. After that, you want to move on to questions like this. Other questions that have line references like this in line 11, and the author uses the word obvious to indicate in these we know where to find the answer. We don't want to just read line 11, but also a sentence above and a sentence below, get some context. But it forces us again to go back and reread a bunch of this passage. And then we're going to move on to questions like this. There's always going to be questions that are about something specific, but don't give us a line reference. This one, it can be reasonably inferred from the passage and a region of Australia there are. So somewhere in the passage, they talk about some region of Australia. But now that we've gone and done these other questions, we have a better chance to get this right, number one, and also be able to do this faster, because hopefully we'll know where to find this answer much faster. And after we're done those, we should just be left with questions like this, which often come up as the first question after we read a passage, something like the main purpose of the passage is to, these questions that have to do with the whole passage. Even though they come up first, it's the worst time to do them. You actually want to do these last, because after we've done all these other questions, we've gone back to the passage over and over and over again to find evidence to answer those. Now we'll have the best chance of getting this right. So these questions that have to do with the whole passage, you want to do last. Good luck.